Royals baseball from Anaheim, California. It's game 2 between the Royals and the Angels. Last night the Angels scored late and took game 1 9-6. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. It's been a tough stretch for Royals pitching over the last 5 games. Brad Keller will make the start for the Royals. He went about 55 pitches in his first start. The Royals hope he'll get to about 75 tonight. What'd you think about his first start?
I liked what I saw. I liked the fact that he was aggressive and the fact that he believes he belongs. There's a big truth to that. You have to carry yourself with confidence. And if you don't, the opposing hitters that have been making a living here for a long time, most of them, they'll let you know. Now look at him. There's athleticism there. You see it. There was no panic going and picking up that ball. If he can just stretch out a little bit and get a little longer, he'll go deep in a game one time, and then the confidence will really shine.
The Angels have a losing record at home this year, but their starting pitcher tonight, lefty Andrew Heaney, has an ERA just a little bit over 1 at home. Ticket played gets back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. It was back and forth last night. The Royals had 3 leads, the Angels had 2, and after 3 hours and 35 minutes, the Angels took game 1 9-6. The lineups and first pitch are next. warmer than last night's first pitch. Royals tonight will face left-hander Andrew Heaney, and the Angels will be seeing Brad Keller, who is making his second major league start. And the Angels got a little glimpse of him back in April. He pitched 1 inning in relief. Here's the Royals batting order tonight. And with the left-hander on the mound, Alex Gordon drops down to number 8. So Hunter Dozier and Alcides Escobar move up. Drew Butera becomes Ned Yo's 12th designated hitter this year. Ned only used 9 designated hitters last year and only 4 the year before that. And here comes left-hander Andrew Heaney, who made his season debut against the Royals back in April. He started the season on the disabled list with some elbow problems.
Yeah, look at him digging in. He's getting his toe hold up there on that slab. Any fastball, slider, changeup. He's got 3 pitches. The opponents on the slider has been pretty tough on with a 190 average. Now that fastball, he's going to work. It's a 2-seam sinker, so he wants to hit the pitch to contact it so the hitters hit the ball on the ground. Look for the heater though and look him up. Defensively, the Angels are a pretty good defensive ball club, especially their shortstop, their second baseman Kinsler, and their center fielder Trout. But Martin Maldonado, he's doing the catching tonight. Cozart's a shortstop, but he's playing third. But Simmons is an unbelievable shortstop, fabulous player.
Jerry Meals, the crew chief, is at first base tonight. And we'll see what Ed Hickox presents for a strike zone. Last night, both teams felt like Gabe Morales, as a home plate umpire, had a very tight strike zone, so that may have or may not have anything to do with the time of game last night, which was 3 hours and 35 minutes. Time for the Lowe's whole team together. And the Angels had pitching problems early in the year because of injured pitchers. They had 9 starters in the first 15 games. So they've had 14 different pitchers pick up a win this year. Only the Dodgers have more. And then Tampa Bay after them. The Dodgers, by the way, who ended up in Game 7 of the World Series last year, they're still under 500 in the National League West. So 3 teams that are relying more on their entire pitching staff than they had anticipated. John Jay takes a fastball at the knees. He had 3 hits last night, including a game-opening single, and he scored in the first and then later drove in a run. Now he takes one on the knee, and he'll go down to first again.
And you know what? Didn't bother him one bit. He'll take it. Hit 300 off southpaws. I mean, he's hitting everything off everyone. And so every once in a while, get clipped, take it, be all right.
Royals have scored the most runs in the American League in the first inning, and they got 1 last night. Cut on and miss, no balls and 1 strike. Well, item number 1 for most pitchers, and you would think for a lefty, would be keep the ball down. But Andrew Heaney has been very good when he pitches up. No well-hit balls on elevated fastballs so far, and he has the 3rd highest miss rate, swing and miss rate on pitches up. And there you go, a pitch up, and he gets a pop-up to the left side of the infield. And Cozart makes the play, 1 down.
Yeah, and you know, Terry Bradshaw was talking with him today about Heaney, and he said Heaney has some success up, but you know, if he's a premium sinker baller, though he likes to keep 2-seamers down, we got to look him up. So there's a fine line between looking him up. Now Whitley, that was 92, wasn't even at the top of the box, but you know, so far Heaney's had some success up there. You get a little top end on him, bust him once or twice, get some confidence going with the bunch, and then see if they can get on the board. Get him. No Trout in center field, although Chris Young is a good athlete. He can handle center.
Mike Moustakas drove in that first inning run last night and finished with 2 hits and a walk. Fastball at 92, no balls, 2 strikes. Mike Moustakas is a Southern California kid, and he is having a good season so far against the AL West, but in his career he's really struggled against the AL West. That's his lowest batting average and slugging percentage against any division. Still 0-2.
Good try there. Want to slap a double down the third base line. Yeah, you know, it's hard. Numbers are hard for players to understand because they're so focused on the things that they should focus on, keeping it simple, trying to pick up the pitch, you know, the release point. You want to study but not overstudy because paralysis by analysis sets in. So sometimes you'll share a number with them and they'll say, I had no idea, beat it out.
Nice play by Valbuena.
Yeah, it was.
Two down.
I didn't mean it swing, but then once it gets by the pitcher, you believe you got a hit. But man, where did he come from? Out of nowhere with a bare hander. That's an excellent play. Look at Simmons. And Simmons shaking his head, saying, "Man, way to go."
Salvador Perez belted his 10th home run last night on a first pitch. And half of his 10 home runs have been on a first pitch. And Heaney knows he's ready to go on the first pitch, so he pitches down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. And nothing new for Salvi to swing the bat well here. Arquilla drive to success. Salvi's a .356 hitter in this ballpark with a slugging percentage over 600. So a couple of places in completely different spots in the country where Salvi thrives. Here and Target Field in Minneapolis.
Really? Yeah. How about it though? He's hungry. He's looking for anything out over the middle, like a lot of the hitters are. Some more patient than others.
On the infield again, and Cozart straddling the line. It is a foul ball catch. So Heaney gets a couple of pop outs. He has a scoreless first inning, and now Brad Keller to the mound for his 2nd major league start. with a walk, a rare hitless game for him against the Royals. A lot of changes tonight. Andrelton Simmons bats second. Mike Trout is the designated hitter. Luis Valbuena is into the lineup tonight. So is Michael Hermosillo, who will play in right field. Changes from last night's game as Brad Keller makes his second big league start tonight.
Yep, Brad Keller, just go out and establish the fastball. That's what he likes to do. Now this is from his last start versus the Twins. 84% heaters, and it's a natural cutting fastball, four-seamer, two-seamer. Two-seamer sinks and has some pretty good life to it. Slider, changeup. You know, the 3 strikeouts he had was on his fastball. His pitching coach Cal Eldred said strike one, getting ahead of the hitters, is important. Attack with the fastball, and don't look at the names on the back of their jerseys.
A little bit high, 2-0 on Kinsler. His pitch limit was about 55 on Wednesday against Minnesota. Ned Yost hinted that maybe that could move up to 70 or 75. There's his line. That was a wild game, by the way. That was a game where the Royals scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings. And then Minnesota came back and made it 9-8. And the Royals ended up winning 11-8. 3-2 on Ian Kinsler with Andrelton Simmons on deck. So 51 pitches for Keller on Wednesday, giving up 1 run on 3 hits. All 3 of his strikeouts were with fastballs. Very high to left field. And Gordon is there, 1 away.
Ford around the horn, Royals defense. John Jay's getting the call in center field. Jorge Soler's in right. Can't wait to watch Alex make a play. He's going to either throw somebody out or get some grass stains on his uniform. Merrifield's back at second base. He likes it there. Salvador Perez, he just can't wait for a runner to go on him. He'll throw him out. He's been hot. Picking guys off, showing off his arm. He wants the Gold Glove back. He's throwing out 47% of runners. He's been fabulous.
Andrelton Simmons is hitting .330. Despite going hitless last night, that put an end to an 11-game hitting streak. He did drive in a run. Now we know he's a wizard with the glove, but now he's becoming a complete player. 4th in the league in batting average, 7th most hits, and being a top of the order guy, at least tonight. Maybe the most important stat for him is on base percentage, and he is 7th in the league there.
It's been impressive. This young man, he's quick with his hands. We know that from from defense, like you said, but he's aggressive. He is swinging early, and he's on the attack. They're being a little bit patient off of Keller's heater so far.
Outside for a walk. One on, one out, and now Keller will get Mike Trout, which I guess would fall into that category of not paying attention to the name on the back of the jersey.
Yep, and of course, he might be happy that Pujols isn't in there, or maybe not. I mean, maybe a young guy like Keller's probably saying, you know what, bring on the best. I want to face the best. But Albert's getting a day off.
Well, so far Keller's done a good job of ignoring the names on the back of the jerseys, the big names. This is against 3, 4, and 5 hitters this year. There are no extra base hits from 3, 4, 5 hitters against Keller so far. And there's a ground ball to Moustakas from a knee to second one, and on to first for a double play.
Got him. What a play, Moose. He's able to come up with that baby and get it from his knees, throw a dart to Merrifield across the diamond. Oh, and what a nice pickup for Keller.
Remember, if the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Jorge Soler this year has 9 home runs, 16 doubles, no triples. Kind of an afterthought swing there on a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he's one of the best in the league against lefties. Batting average, slugging percentage, OPS.
I love that ball breaking into you. Royals has a teamer hitting 263. That average stands for 5th best against left-handers in the league. So they've done pretty well. Several guys in the lineup like him.
Still 1-2. Andrew Heaney has had a nice year. He was really on a roll. He had 6 consecutive starts, allowing 2 earned runs or fewer, but then he got knocked around by the Tigers on Thursday, giving up 5 runs in 5 innings. The Tigers have been a surprise so far this year. Falling to the Red Sox today, but they are just 4 games under 500. Kozar throws out Soler, 1 down in the 2nd inning. Heaney is celebrating his birthday. He is 27 years old today and pitches on his birthday for the first time.
Okay.
Hunter Dozier was 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored last night. 93 over the outside corner, strike 1. '93 again.
You know, I had a chance earlier to talk with Escobar a little bit about Heaney. Said you know, Esky, you hit good. You're hitting over 300 against lefties. What about Heaney? He goes, you know, the guy's sneaky. He's sneaky. He's kind of hard to pick up the ball. You can see how he holds that ball behind his body during his windup, and it's so important for a hitter to try to pick up that release point. And if you don't see it until the last minute, it makes it a little bit more difficult to see what pitch is coming, or at least in your mind what it looks like.
2-2.
Conscious of the back leg breaking ball.
How do those two ladies know that they're on TV? Maybe Joel tipped him off.
Look at Joelberg back there.
Strike 3 over the inside. That's Heaney's first.
Interesting. See that 94? That's an angle there that he's using from that far left-hand side of the rubber, from the first base side of the rubber. He gets a good angle there. We'll talk about that a little bit more. How certain pitchers will get used to one side of the rubber and they work off of angles, especially left-handers who are facing mostly right-handed hitters.
Esky was 1 for 4 last night. Got it in on him. And Kinsler steps backward a few strides and brings it down, and Heaney has a 1-2-3 second inning.
Skoglund on the disabled list. Joel Goldberg right down by the Royals dugout, and the speaker that plays all the walk-off song right at my feet, so you probably hear a little bit of that. But how about a University of Kansas Health System injury report update on Skoglund? And guys, it is a positive. He's going to be reevaluated on Friday to determine if he can start throwing again. He was reevaluated a couple of days ago on Sunday before the road trip that day, and they felt like he could use 5 more days, but they said very positive. They wanted him to be close to asymptomatic on 2 tests, and he was really close, but they just want to make sure that he is there. So really pleased with the progress and hoping that he could start a throwing program out in Arizona later in the week or next week. One other update, guys. Lucas Duda is here on the trip. And Nick Kenny told me that he's slowly adding in more functional activity with that plantar fasciitis. He's been taking ground balls. They're hit right to him, so it's controlled, but that's a positive. He hit on the field for the first time today and felt good. The next step and the big one is running. And once he can do that, they'll keep adding to it and hope to have a better timeline for him by the end of the trip.
Thank you, Joel. Fouled away by Justin Upton. He's down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Love to hear the good news on Eric Skoglund. Anytime you start talking about the ulnar collateral ligament, the dreaded UCL, when that goes, we're talking Tommy John surgery and missing at least a year. So good news on that front.
Yeah,
very good news.
And you can imagine how fearful he was of that diagnosis when it happened. When they said his elbow was trouble, he had some swelling. You know, that probably just bugged him to death. So glad it's that kind of news too. And for Lucas Duda, they could use his bat in that lineup and his glove. He was playing good baseball before he left. That plantar fasciitis is not good. It's no fun to have. It cost me a job one year.
Escobar throws back across his body. Dozier stretches, but it took him off the bag.
Excellent try. We've seen Esky make those plays, and he would have gotten Upton had he just let go of that throw a little sooner. It was up the line. Dozier, got to give him a little credit for at least coming off the base, saving that ball from possibly going into the camera well.
Here's Luis Valbuena. Big rip at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Valbuena was the only Angels position player who did not appear last night. Mike Scioscia emptied his bench other than Valbuena. Into left center field, slicing over to Alex Gordon. 1 out. Brad Keller, he does well against righties. He pitches well against lefties. He does well at home. He does well on the road. He pitches during the day. He pitches well at night.
He's good.
So you were talking about ignoring the name on the back of the jersey. He's done a good job of ignoring the names on the front of the jerseys. He's been pretty much unfazed in his first 22 big league games.
And that's impressive. You got to love that. There's a wow factor for a lot of young men. Maybe he had it, but it just didn't show.
Extremely respectful young man. I mean, like you said, the wow factor hasn't gotten to him, and at the same time, you can tell he's still wowed by being in the big leagues.
He is, by the fact of what you said, respect. Like I was talking to some of the relievers. They all have their lockers in the same place in the locker room. And he was there on his day, starting pitchers. You know, you usually leave them alone. Don't ask them any questions or anything. That's kind of their day to focus. But I was talking with a few of them. We were laughing and cutting up a little bit. And he was listening. And he was involved in the conversation. And he had a kind of sheepish grin on him. But he was a part of it. It wasn't like he totally blocked us out. Oh, I'm in my day. You know, he's absorbing all of it. It's nice. And I knew some players that wore headphones the whole day. You couldn't talk to them. You know, you couldn't even, share anything to them on their day.
Now you say absorbing everything, and talking to members of the Royals coaching staff, you know, they love his size. He's 6'5". They love his arm. They love his age. He's only 22. They love that he hasn't been overwhelmed by the big leagues, but what keeps coming up about Brad Keller is his aptitude. There's his first strikeout. He gets Cozart, and there are 2 down. Not only does he absorb everything that he's either being taught, we always seem to see him, since he's moved to the rotation, hanging over the railing and just hanging on every pitch and just learning as he's watching. Ned Yost was saying not only does he listen, but he has the ability to retain. And the Royals are seeing improvements. He may not be perfect every time he takes a mound, but there are little improvements every time he takes them out.
Yeah, we like to see that from a young guy. It's, you know, and Skoglund was that way too. Skoglund, every time he went out, you kept seeing something that was a little better, and that's the way it's going to be with Keller. He'll progressively get better, especially his pitch count. They stretch him out and let him stay in games longer. And it would be nice if he could get some early count outs so he could stay in the game as long as possible, because that's going to give him confidence.
Fouled away by Maldonado. No balls, 2 strikes. Our producer, Kevin Cedergren, was reminding me, with Keller being 22 years old, how many guys yesterday, today, and tomorrow will be drafted at age 22. I mean, there's guys just getting started at 21, 22 years of age, coming out of college, and here he is in the big leagues.
You're exactly right. And he's way ahead of the curve. Speaking of that, and you know, he's I watch him, you know, he's got a decent move. He's a good athlete. He can field his position well, but you know, the times home, you know, he's good. He's under 1.3, 1.25. Those are all really good times. So if the base stealer gets a good jump with a catching arm and thrower like Salvi, they're going to get him. Anything over 3.4, 3.5, you can steal the base.
Looked like a swing. It was, and now Maldonado walks out of the dirt, so no throw needed. Keller strikes out 2 and works around the leadoff infield single in the 2nd inning. First base, so we'll try and connect the dots here. Zach Cozart moves from third base to short, and Luis Valbuena, who was at first base, is now over at third. So that means Andrelton Simmons is out. So Marte will bat in the number 2 position. Well, let's see. Simmons walked in the 1st inning, and the only involvement he's had defensively is when Moustakas reached on a fielder's choice. Valbuena threw over to Simmons for a force at second. Other than that, he hadn't really been involved tonight.
Right.
I'm sure pretty soon here we'll find out why he came out of the game.
Yep.
But I don't think Ned Yost has his box of sympathy cards out right now and is jotting down a note to Mike Scioscia.
Yeah, and no box of chocolates. None.
1-1 on Alex. He was hitless in 4 at-bats last night.
I mean, both managers, former catchers in their day. I mean, is there any other managers in baseball that wasn't a catcher?
Well, it's such a unique position in that really you're managing the game as a player, calling pitches, giving defensive signs when you're looking at potential steals or bunt situations.
Knowing about the bullpens.
And it's the only defensive position that is facing the rest of the field. So he can see the entire span of pitcher, infield, outfield. Heaney fooled Alex and gets his second strikeout. You can wear your favorite Danny Duffy quote from the 2015 postseason on a t-shirt. The first 10,000 fans through the gates next Tuesday will receive this t-shirt with the famous Danny Duffy quote, "It's a bear suit, Joel."
Oh.
Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday to see all of this year's designs.
I gotta have one of those. That's gonna be a popular Tuesday t-shirt giveaway.
One and one on Drew Butera, who is a DH for the first time this year, and that makes 12 designated hitters for Ned Yost in the Royals' first 61 games. So when he said he was going to rotate the DH spot this year, he meant it. Drew made just one start on the homestand, and that was a week ago tonight against Minnesota. Here's Marte in the foul ground, and he's got it. 2 outs. And now John Jay, who was hit on the leg to begin the game. Good pitch over the outside from Heaney to John Jay. Two down, nobody on. No balls, 2 strikes.
You know, look at the hits. Look who's in there amongst all those players. John Jay, not surprised. Able to utilize the whole field. Altuve, Castellanos, Segura, who's been in the top, Lindor, and John Jay. Wow, you really wouldn't expect to see his to get fouled. Perfect. He's got another chance. But I was talking with the Angels hitting coach Eric Hensky today about John Jay. He had him in Chicago last year. And he talked about he's a worker. He hits in the cage. That's where he does most of his work, but he studies pitchers. He was a good example for the rest of those young players. He had impressive things to say about John Jay in a Cub uniform.
Still 1 and 2.
You know, you have to work. Okay, it just does not natural. These guys are not video game machines. I mean, they're not robots. You got to work. You got to practice. You spend a lot of time in the cages, and so most hitting coaches will tell you that they're hitters. They work. They hit. They battle, they study film, and that's their business. So the finished product is what we're seeing from all that hard work. And then, of course, the competition factor. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to get you if you make a mistake.
Out to short, tough hop. Cozart recovers and gets John by a step. Royals are down in order. And now Heaney has set down the last 9.
That's right. Pitching to contact's going to help him. He'll find that out as a starter. Of course, as a bullpen guy as well. Looks good. Just 31 pitches so far, but look at the trailer on that beauty. That's an 84 bender, and he's out. Nice job. See if he can continue to mow along, get some early count outs, and enjoy the game, and hopefully the Royals will find some timing off of Heaney, get him the lead. That's the whole key.
Chris Young will lead off. He is batting 8th and playing in center field. Strike one from Keller. Young had just a couple of at-bats last night and then was pinch hit for in the 6th by Shohei Ohtani, who ended up reaching with an infield single, much to the delight of the crowd here last night.
Yes. Yeah, you mean you thought he did something great? He got
like
an
a
infield
walk-off
knock.
grand slam or something.
he's pretty popular.
He will be starting tomorrow and going up against Ian Kennedy for the night game and the final game of this series. Ohtani is 4-1 as a pitcher. Right to Moustakas.
Woo. So just a little smash to the hot corner. Be ready, 105.3 coming at you, and that's not on your radio dial. That's hot off the barrel. Yeah, you see Moose? He barely just got his glove up there and turned his head. Hey, you don't want to be behind that ball.
That was a classic rock station, wasn't it?
I think it was. I like the sound of it.
Michael Hermosillo. He had a walk and a run scored in his only plate appearance, and that was the Angels' 3-run 8th inning. Last night the Royals had a 1-0 lead. The Angels tied it. The Royals led 3-1. Then it was 3-2. Then the Royals led 5-2. Then the Angels led 6-5. The Royals tied it. And then the Angels scored 3 in the 8th. Popped up. And Witt drifting into Escobar's territory. All those defensive shifts, and guys are venturing into Escobar's.
They are. A lot of communication, though, going on about that.
Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Strike to Ian Kinsler. He flied out to left field in the first inning. About an inch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat, and Alex runs it down into the corner. That's Keller's first 1-2-3 inning. No score at the end of 3. It'll be Merrifield, then Moustakas and Perez in the 4th.
Hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
No score at the end of 3. It was 3-2 Royals at the end of 3 last night. It'll be Merrifield, Moustakas, and Perez against Andrew Heaney, who has set down the last 9. And he got Witt on a pop out to third in the first inning. John Jay was hit by a pitch to begin the game, and then the next 9 hitters, Heaney recorded an out against the next 9. 2-1 on Witt. Three balls, 1 strike. Altogether, Merrifield is hitting .290, but when you start talking about what he's done against lefties, there's a big spike in his batting average. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's our Kubota power stats. .423 against left-hand pitching this year, with a nice slugging percentage, .690.
Yep, he has a great knack knowing when it's an off-speed pitch, when to pull it, when to go to the opposite field, but mainly stays in the middle. Man, gotta stay out of the air.
Maldonado is there. 1 out.
Just getting those pop-ups, those are pitches that are just missed. You can tell by the height on them, and though you don't hardly feel those as a hitter, that means you got it on the sweet part of the bat, just underneath it, about an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/2 of an inch.
Moustakas reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. A little bit high, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike on Mike Moustakas.
Moose holding his own. 243 coming in against lefties. He's trying to just do anything he can to get on base. Now, he's hit a couple homers off him.
Two and two.
The ball seemed like it was carrying last night, but you typically here at nighttime that little marine layer sets in here, and ball doesn't go as like it does during the day. Daytime, it really flies. Ooh, that was a little short. See where that ball bounced there? It was 80 on the grass.
Well, you just got done saying the ball's not carrying tonight, and it is not carrying.
Where is this? Where'd
from
this
the
land?
mound?
Look where that landed. We haven't seen a trailer on that one.
Heaney clearly is not a golfer because he did not go and repair his divot.
He did not. Well, that was a worm burner if I've ever seen one. Oh, man. A little short. Meantime, Moose had his best swing right there. Just missed it. 3 and 2. Come in there, find a hole.
Out to shallow right field. Kinsler throws him out, 2 away.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Get your theme ticket now for K-State Night on Friday, June 15th, presented by Rally House and FSKC. Cheer on your two favorite teams with an exclusive Royals cap featuring the Power Cat logo and colors. Redeem your hat at Gate A with your theme ticket at 5:30 p.m. before the Royals take on the Stros.
That was a swing. Salvi fouled out to the third baseman Cozart, who is now the shortstop. High and deep to left field. Upton turns his back on the infield. He turns back around, and there it is. As you said, it is not carrying tonight. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it, but not in Southern California.
A home run last night to tie the game. That's not all he did. Our Toyota League leaders takes a look at pickoffs by catchers since Salvi came into the league in 2011. That was his 20th. Martin Maldonado from the Angels is right behind him. So we're seeing two of the best catchers. And guys, when it comes to energy and a love of the game, it's tough to find anyone with more than what Salvador Perez has. And one of the great things about being right down here by this dugout suite and right by the on-deck circle, along with the great weather, is just being able to see the interactions. And guys, Salvi never stops. I know we know about his energy, but he'll be warming up, and in the on-deck circle, he's turning and answering questions from the fans down here. What's your favorite this? He's got an answer. Back to focusing. He's chatting with Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Last night he caught a foul ball right up against the net to end the 5th inning. Turned, immediately handed the ball to a Royals fan that was in the suite. Then wanted to run back out to the field to catch more. Moustakas subtly signaled inning over. He turned back, interacted with the fan, big smile, back to the dugout. He never stops going.
That is so fresh and so good to hear. I mean, you know what? He obviously can focus when he needs to focus, but the fact that he gets it and he loves the people, that's what's going to grow our game. Nothing will grow the game more than star players having fun. Sorry, Salvi.
Yep.
Star players, tough as nails, able to walk that off with no problem. Have a kind word for somebody, make them feel good. Those are huge qualities. And you know, Ryan, while talking about that, I'm not so sure that those 5 men that were drafted yesterday and the many more that were drafted today by the Royals understand that they're with an organization like the Royals that care about you. You're going to be a part of their family. Salvi, he don't want to go anywhere else. He loves it here. Those young players have no idea what they're getting ready to come into, a family of the Royals to build the next championship product. And Salvi will be a part of that.
Showed you last night, and we got a chance to chat with Dayton Moore about the Royals' first 5 picks were all college pitchers. The Royals continued drafting today and went after even more college players. That looked like a swing, and it was. Keller strikes out his 3rd. So day 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 6 of the 7 are college players. Only Kevon Jackson is out of high school, a center fielder.
Yeah, you know what? That's 3 years of extra production and extra learning the game and playing the game and maturing that you can get outside of a high school kid. You know, comes in, he's going to take a little longer to develop most of the time. But these, you know, and then plus what's good is that the kids go to college, they get to experience the college experience and then get something going towards their degree, so when baseball's over, not if it's over, when it's over, you'll have something to fall back on and move forward in your life, along with your baseball experience. But really, the organization that drafts you is extremely important. And I wonder if any of those young men have an idea how good it's going to be for them here, because they make you feel like you're part of their family. And other organizations aren't like that.
Three and one on Mike Trout, who grounded into a double play in the first inning. That is a fair ball. Moustakas going to have to hurry. And Trout is safe with an infield single.
What a great opportunity for Moose to show off his great arm. Man, and that ball wasn't hit that hard, and he made it to make it as close as he did to show you about the cannon. That's a 1, 2, 3 hopper. Yep, Trout knows, he smells it. He's so fast, keeps a good low lean, hands moving forward. You notice his hands, Ryan. When he's carrying his hands, when he's running, he's not running up, he's running down through. He's pushing his hands through. The track coach would watch that form and say, that's good form. He's pushing his body forward.
And he's big. I mean, he's, you know, on TV, he looks like a big guy. I'm not saying by any means is he deceivingly big in person, but I mean, he looks like he could be playing football.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking about high school or college football. I'm talking about NFL football.
Right, he would be an outstanding running back. Has the size and the speed. Watching him go first to third last night, he accelerates. He's slow to the ground, but his form is running. Watch his form. Watch his hands. Watch his hands. See how they're going forward? They're moving forward like that. They're not going up and they're not going down. That's what you want to do, push your body forward. Along with the motor. The motor's the legs. Feet, got to move them.
So the Angels have 2 hits so far against Keller, and they're both infield hits. The other from Upton leading off the second inning. And Keller has also walked a batter, so 3 base runners in 4 innings. Keller's off to a good start. He is at 54 pitches right now, and Ned Yost is talking about 70 to 75. There's a pitch limit for him. Off of Moustakas' glove, and now it ricochets out into left center field, and that'll allow Trout to go first to third.
Yeah, too bad right there. You know, that goes through cleanly. They're going to keep Trout at second base, but still, the double play stays in order. Nice effort. Got to it in time to keep runner off of second base Upton.
Luis Valbuena with runners at first and third and one out. Hacking at the first pitch and fouls it back into the upper deck. Valbuena flied out to left in the second inning. Oh, and 2. Salvi and Trout are having some fun.
Trout was pointing at him. Moose was trying to sneak in, but Trout's well schooled. As they have their meetings, they know all about Salvi's arm.
Still no balls, 2 strikes.
A little cat and mouse, a little friendly. Look at him. Look at Trout. Him and Salvi are looking at each other. Watch this. I got you.
And there really was no play at third base because Mike Trout is well aware of Salvador Perez.
Exactly.
He did not put himself in no man's land.
No, he didn't get off the base at all. That's what he was pointing his finger saying,
Crack bat, shallow center field.
Throw him out.
Trout tags and holds. So Keller needed a pop up, a ground out, or a strikeout, and he got a pop out to shallow center field.
That'll work. Now Trout, he started coming down the line. He was coming down the line quite a ways. Now you see him having hit, and by the time he got back, Dino Evil was telling him to stay there. Largely because Cozart's coming up. Didn't want to run into an out. That's a good pitch by Keller.
And now 2 down to Cozart. Missed a fastball at 94. He missed a fastball in the second inning, and Keller struck him out.
That RISP average not too good there. 111. Stay with the heater. He struck him out with a heater earlier.
In the air to right center field.
Sees it.
Soler didn't see it. Jay does, and that's the inning. So Keller, faced with first and third and one out, gets out of it. You can create moments you will remember forever with the Royals Memories program. Download the MLB Ballpark app now to choose from unique experiences like watching batting practice on the field, delivering the game ball to the mound, or take in Friday night fireworks from the outfield grass. To see a full list of experiences on the Ballpark app, check it out on your mobile device.
How about that? Watching BP can be fun. especially at the K. You know, you're close to the screen, players walk by, you know, you just have to use your manners if you want an autograph and say, "Excuse me, sir, would you sign my ball, please?" They might stop and sign.
One hop to Valbuena. And Andrew Heaney now has gotten an out against the last 13 Royals. That's the second time Soler has grounded out to third. He hit John Jay on the leg to begin the game, and that's the Royals' only base runner.
Yeah, told you, the coming in against left-handed hitters, or excuse me, left-handed pitchers, the Royals batters are hitting 263. That's 5th best in the AL. But having a hard time picking up Heaney, who hides the ball well, like Escobar was telling me. He kind of has a little bit of a turn.
Two 2-0 on Dozier, who took a called third strike in the second inning. Heaney has struck out 2 so far. And now 3 balls and no strikes.
You know, when Heaney made his first start of the year against the Royals several weeks ago, he was pitching from the third base side of the mound, of the slab. And he did that because his pitching coach and the analytics, and you know, for different reasons, they thought he would have more success over there. But when you're facing mainly right-handers, you need to have a better angle. And the better angle's over there towards first. Goodbye.
Here's a Royals first hit. Upton cuts it off deep, and he'll hold Dozier with a long single. So a polite round of applause. It wasn't really time to get excited yet for a no-hitter, but Heaney began with 4 1/3 no-hit innings.
And I thought Dozier, had he kept going, you know, he might have been able to make it in there, but you know, you don't want to get it out. If there's 2 outs, yeah, that's a good time to go on it. But Upton had to slow his momentum down to come and get the throw. He'll be happy with a single. Anyway, Heaney, the angle wasn't working for him on the third base side, because you don't really have a good angle to right-handed batters. On the first base side of the rubber, where he's standing now, he's more comfortable. Most left-handers are, because they're facing mainly righties. He's got this whole backside angle there. See, he can bring in backdoor breaking balls, but when you come inside, it's important that you really get inside, or you could leave it out over the middle of the plate. And had a good lesson from Mark Gubaza and Mark Langston today, as I cornered both of those guys. One's a righty, Langston was a lefty. They were both accomplished big league pitchers, not just middle of the road. They were really good. And it's not going to make it. But they told me that most of the time they learned early in their careers where they were comfortable and where they would toe the slab and where they would get on the mound. Langston said, I always pitched from the first base side. I couldn't imagine trying to get a good angle on the third base side. But Heaney's learning that, and he's trying to take the advice from coaches and all that other thing compared to your feel and how you feel on the mound. It's important. So those angles, those 2 starts he had at on the third base side wasn't working. So he went back to his what makes him feel good. He's doing a pretty good job. Now
It's kind of like a hitter. I mean, it's hitting coaches all the time are telling hitters, hey, why don't you move back in the batter's box a little bit, or you know, and I mean, you get to a point where even if you're not hitting well, that's just what's most comfortable. And as you've said before on the broadcast, you get a hitter to move, you know, 6 inches in the batter's box, and to them it feels like 10 feet.
Oh man, how about 3 inches? 3 inches could be a lot. Yeah, so it's particular for the pitcher. Now, I had over 1,000 at-bats against left-handed pitchers in the majors, and I never, ever could tell you one time I knew which side of the rubber that guy was standing on. My focus wasn't on that. My focus was on his release point, what he had, how he was going to try to get me out, and sequences.
Alex hits it hard, but it comes up for Kinsler at second base. So the Royals get their first hit, but Heaney has 5 scoreless innings. fourth. With one out, Mike Trout got an infield single. And then Upton singled off of Moustakas' glove. That put runners at first and third and one out, but Valbuena flied to shallow center. Cozart flied out to right center field, and Keller got out of it. So he's given up 3 singles and a walk in his first 4 innings. And with a 70 to 75 pitch limit, there is number 62. And it's outside to Maldonado.
Yeah, I tell you, the effectiveness of that hard fastball up in the zone makes it difficult for a hitter, righty or lefty, to get the top hand of their swing on that to square it up and find green. A lot of pop-ups.
Ouch. He is not ready to get back in the batter's box yet, and now the Angels trainer is going to come out and take a look.
You never know. When you foul a ball off of your shin like that and the ball goes across the other way, that means you were hit squarely. And sometimes that can be a contusion. Sometimes it can be a crack. You hope it's not. But when there's no protection there, he doesn't have it on. Oh, that's just square. See where the ball went? Ball went foul.
And as they go out to check on Maldonado, we just found out why Andrelton Simmons came out before the 3rd inning. He has a sprained right ankle. Dino Ebel makes a nice play. Wipes the dirt off the ball so he can give away a clean souvenir.
Come on, Dino, huh? Bill Duplessis was talking about Dino today to me. Billy got to play for Dino in the Dodgers system when Dino Ebel was a Dodgers coach. And that's kind of how Socia picked him up over here.
Still 2-2 on Maldonado.
Yeah, sorry about that, Reno, but that man right there, Alfredo Griffin, is the only coach that's been with Mike the whole tenure he's been here. Socia started managing here in 2000. And Alfredo Griffin, another Dodger friend and played with Mike with the Dodgers, brought him along and has been with him. He's an infield instructor. Alfredo, base running, extremely valuable.
Moustakas has time with Maldonado running.
Pepsi, the fan favorite for every generation, celebrating 50 years of Royals baseball. You know Alfredo Griffin? He played 20 years, 18 of those in the major leagues. Alfredo Griffin, heck of a shortstop.
Yep.
You know, I was talking to him about the game today and how power's involved and speed and all. He goes, I was 145 pounds when I signed. I said, the only thing I could do was bunt and run. He says, I couldn't hit the ball to the outfield. He goes, but thankfully I could bunt and I could get on base. That was my way of attacking.
And he could field.
Oh, and he was a fantastic shortstop. And you know, he's a valuable baseball person. You got to have people like that. Guys that have played the game before, that understand the grind, that understand different ways, and he was a heck of a base runner.
Through the overshift. Young is on with one out. And now they begin to move around in the Royals bullpen. That was Keller's 71 pitches, 71st pitch, and Ed Yost mentioned somewhere between 70 and 75 pitches tonight.
Yeah, Mo Lottery replay shows that the ball is hard hit on a heater down. 94, found a hole. Kind of like Keller in his tempo, the way he gets the ball, throws it. Doesn't do a lot of thinking. He's got a nice little curve ball he's using up and down, bouncing a few of them.
Hermosillo popped out to Merrifield in the third inning. Two balls, no strikes.
Hasn't used a lot of changeups, only 4 changeups tonight in his 73 pitches. So 2 pitches, fastball, curve. Slider, slurve, it kind of's got a little curveball break to it.
And you say fastball, but his fastball will give the hitters a little different look. I mean, one has that natural cut, so it's moving from right to left. Sinker going from left to right.
Yep, you're so right. So then add 2 more pitches.
There's a base hit into left field. So the Angels have 5 hits, all singles. And they have 2 on with 1 out. And Ned Yost checks to see where McCarthy is right now in his warm-up routine. 75 pitches, and now the Angels begin the 3rd time through.
You know, if you make a mistake in the middle with a fastball, they're going to get it no matter the movement. And it's just fortunate it found a hole.
Yeah, and those are ground balls. I mean, they're, I don't know if I'd say they were hard hit, but, you know, solid contact. But if those ground balls are hit right at somebody, you say, hey, he's getting the job done. He's getting ground balls. And so
double play, they're out of the inning.
Just ground balls getting through the infield. And so Ned got word from Cal Eldred, who was on the phone. So Ned took as much time as he could to allow McCarthy to get a few more warm-up tosses. So Brad Keller's 2nd start is a success so far. He departs with 2 on, 1 out. And McCarthy will get Kinsler in a Chevy call to the bullpen. At 1st and 2nd and 1 down in the 5th inning. Here's his Pizza Ranch pitching line. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He's still responsible for Young at second base and Hermosillo at first. And now the ground ball specialist Kevin McCarthy comes on to face Ian Kinsler.
Looking good. I'll tell you, those CNI singles was no big deal. Never really was threatened. Used a nice little double play earlier. Now it's off to McCarthy. See what McCarthy can do with that bowling ball type hard, heavy sinker. He's done pretty well so far. ERA just over 3 now for the first time this season. Wants to continue to stay down in the zone. Had a rough outing last night a little bit, but you know what though? It's going to happen. I talked to him today. He said, I'm going to attack down in the strike zone and continue to use my defense. I want to throw strikes. That's my whole game plan. He says, I feel good and looking for that ball again. Fastball, sinking fastball, slider, curve, change. Using all of them, he said. You threw some changeups last night.
Kinsler gets it in the air, but Soler goes into right center field. Young will tag and go to third. And they're 2 down. So Brad Keller so far has been a nice addition to the starting rotation, but that leaves a void in the bullpen. And since Brad Keller joined the rotation, it's been tough for the Royals bullpen. Last night, Royals bullpen allowed 5 runs in 3 innings, so the ERA is over 8 as Ed Yost has to reconfigure some of the roles. First and third, 2 outs to Jeffrey Marte. Strike over the outside.
So I asked McCarthy about the daily grind of preparing yourself, the exercises, the things you do. He says, you know what, we have a routine down. I have to be able to do my weight work. I have to do my conditioning every single day to stay ready that night in case he calls me.
Hermosillo is running, and now the Angels are trying a double steal, and they're going to get a run. So they were pretty confident that Salvador Perez would go down to second base. And Young comes down from third, and the Angels take a 1-0 lead.
Perfectly executed by the Angels.
Probably not very happy that the Angels executed this double steal.
Yeah, and you know what? Salvi, from his knee, he didn't even think about the fact that they could put the double steal on, and he took the bait. The runner at first base was stopping halfway. He wasn't going to go. The whole idea was for the runner to score, and he did. Socha pulled off a good one on him. If Salvi fakes the throw, then he might could have got him in a rundown and gotten them out at third. Didn't happen.
Butera rolls it out to Cozart. One away for Andrew Heaney, who's now set down 16 of the last 17 Royals. So one away in our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Wendell Schmidt from Waverly, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Wendell wins $1,300. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Wendell wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. So far, the Royals have had 2 base runners. John Jay was hit by a pitch to begin the game. And then Heaney went on to retire 13 in a row after that. And then Dozier singled with 1 out in the 5th. John is also grounded out to short tonight. Back through the middle, Cozart throws out John Jay. We told you last inning that Andrelton Simmons had to come out after 2 innings tonight because of a sprained ankle, and we were trying to figure out when that might have happened. He only had 1 plate appearance and he walked, and he was only part of 1 play on defense, and apparently he rolled his ankle going down the stairs into the dugout.
Okay, we didn't see it, and that happens.
And that was before the game started, so he tried to go out there with a sore ankle, and after a couple of innings decided that was not a good idea. Yeah. 0-1 on Merrifield, who has popped out twice.
When you think about it, it's pretty easy to happen. Going down, going upstairs, and then down from the clubhouse down into the thing to take. They have a big stairs going up. I mean, you could do that easily. Get his bat off the end and broke it.
Could also get hit by a bus walking in from the parking lot.
No question. How many have you ever stepped off a curb and didn't see it, and you stepped down and you're like, oh my, and then you landed on my elbow? Have you ever ran into a pole and nearly knocked yourself out?
No.
Okay, walked into a pole.
No.
Oh, that's the worst. So things happen.
I'm guessing 99.9% of our viewers have never walked into a pole. So why don't you tell us what that's like?
Yeah, I've seen stars. I've gotten a concussion before, and I wasn't even running. Oof, that's a rude awakening. It can happen.
That happened more than once?
I have done that more than once.
More than 3 times?
No, because you can get hurt. I mean, I saw stars. I don't know if that's considered a concussion or not. But I had some others, you know, crashing into walls, button heads in football. So I've had my share, but never do you expect to walk into a pole and get knocked out.
Truer words have never been uttered.
Whitley's got a good AB going here.
Who gets out of bed in the morning and says, you know what? I think I might walk into a pole today and get a concussion.
I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah. Watch Whitley. He's going to do something good here. Well, he did. He hit the ball hard. Can't control it after that.
Did not run into a pole.
Did not.
get a clean 6th inning. He is from Riverside, same hometown as Lucas Duda, who Joel reported earlier is with the Royals on this trip as he continues to rehab a foot injury. Time for our sprint trivia question for tonight. Name the 4 players in Angels history to record a 20 double, 15 home run, 10 stolen base, and 550 slugging percentage, and ran into a pole more than once and got knocked out.
And brought your lunch pail. Wow.
20 doubles, 15 home runs, 10 stolen bases, and a 550 slugging percentage. John Jay takes care of Jeffrey Marte.
Well, I might be the only one that ran into the pole, but I never had those kind of numbers.
You never had 20 doubles in a season for the Angels?
I don't think so.
Did you have 15 home runs in a season?
I had 17, I think, one year.
Okay. You probably had 10 stolen bases that year, didn't you?
I did.
550 slugging percentage?
I doubt that's right.
That might have been 2 years combined.
There's no possible way I could be in one of those answers.
I'm guessing one of them is in the booth and one of them's at the plate right now.
Now, you know what? Way to make me feel good, but I am nowhere in that guy's league.
Well, in this trivia question, you are.
I don't think so.
Now, the only difference is Trout didn't stop at 20 doubles and 15 home runs and 10 stolen bases, but hey. So we have to get 2 more.
So Trout?
You and Mike Trout, how about that?
You mean
yeah.
I was an answer?
Yeah. And somehow they didn't retire your number. But they had a civil engineer in here to reconfigure the stadium, so it made it more difficult for guys to run into a pole.
You know what? You better make sure those poles have got padding on them, and like the walls too. But it was so much fun here at Rhino. 3 years, but it was fun. It was a good 3 years. We didn't have a lot of talent, but 1 year we did. We had a 1-game playoff in '95 against the Seattle Mariners. And my buddy Mark Langston was pitching against Randy Johnson that day. This was the day after the regular season, day off in all of baseball. The whole world was watching us, and Randy Johnson won the game. And they went on and went to the postseason. And because of the success they had in the postseason, there's Langley. It was a big start for him. Because they went to the postseason, they went deep, and they got Safeco Field built there because of that year. So we feel partly responsible for that. That's part of the.
Wasn't part of the plan.
No, but it was part of the, hey, look, you know what? We feel good about something. Losing made us feel good about something, if that makes sense. But that puts Seattle on the map.
How about Garrett Anderson?
That's a good guess.
Strike 1.
Ooh. Erstad, maybe?
The slugging percentage one, I think.
Salmon?
What about Troy Gloss? Did he steal any bases? I mean, 10. That's not a big number.
How about if we go back further? Was there a date on it? I'll stay on.
John Jay takes care of Mike Trout 2-down. What about Vladimir Guerrero? He probably did all those things, didn't he?
Oh, you would hope so.
Vladimir Guerrero. All right,
Anyway,
that's
yeah,
correct.
maybe.
So we have 1 more to go. Look at you.
How did
You, Mike Trout, and Vladimir Guerrero.
You gotta be kidding me. This is gotta be rigged. Are you sure? Really making me feel good, but I wasn't that good. I had 1 good season.
And apparently this was it. What year was the 17 home runs?
That had to be in '96.
Okay.
Poor Phillies had to pay for it. Okay, we
Upton
have one more
has
guy.
a couple of singles tonight.
Let's get one more guy. We got 2 more strikes. I mean, look at they had. I mean,
Did Reggie ever steal 10 bases?
Reggie Jackson, Bobby Grich. He had some great ones.
Upton is 3 for 3. Kevin Cedergren, I guess this salt air has gotten to him. Mr. East Coast has softened tonight, and he's giving us a clue. We have mentioned the fourth player's name already.
Yeah, and I got to believe that it was probably Salmon.
Tim Salmon, strike two. Ooh. So we've mentioned Gloss, we've mentioned Reggie, we have mentioned Bobby Grich, we've mentioned Darren Erstad.
Erstad could steal.
550 slugging, however. I mean, I know by today's standards that's not a huge number, but
combined with on base percentage, it is. OPS.
Well, this is just slugging percentage.
Yeah.
I'm feeling Troy Gloss.
Right.
I remember him running.
He was a heck of an athlete. UCLA, big power, hit long shots, and was a world champion.
No offense to North Dakota or Nebraska. When I say 550 slugging just seemed a little high for Darren Erstad.
Hey, way to go. Take a picture of that. I'm taking a picture of that right there. Hold up, guys. Jeez, crackers. I'm gonna get a picture of that. I made the trivia. Along with those guys, you got to be kidding me.
All right, he got it.
All right, thank you.
Trevor Oakes works around a 2-out single as he strikes out Valbuena, and now at the end of 6, it's still 1-0 Angels. So far, and that was on a double steal with Chris Young coming down from third with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Brad Keller gave up 1 run. It scored after he was out in 4 1/3 innings. Hunter Dozier has the Royals' only hit, but right now the story of the game is Andrew Heaney. Trevor Oakes just pitched a scoreless bottom of the 6th inning.
Good for him.
Andrew Heaney has gone 6 innings. He has given up 1 hit. He has allowed 2 base runners. And he has set down 18 of the last 19 Royals. And he's ahead of Mike Moustakas. No balls and 1 strike.
This might be the best he's pitched in a long time. He's got a good tempo working. He's throwing strikes. He's deceptive. Oh, what a play. He's got defense behind him.
He was a little late getting off the mound, but still there in time to get Moustakas 1 away.
Wow, Marte saved extra bases for sure then, maybe more. Look at him, now he's not too far off the line, but the ball's going to get to him quickly. Spins around, get it out, feed it in there.
No swing. Salvi is fouled out, and he is flied to the warning track in left field. And now he lines one to center, but it's going to stay up, and Young is there to make the play. And just moments after Hud mentioned the ball does not carry here at night, Salvi hit one in the 4th inning, and as I put it, he didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it to hit it out of another ballpark. But like that ball hit a wall once it got to deep left field.
No doubt about it. Download the app, play for free, start your streak, and compete to win $5.6 million. Download, beat the streak today. In the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Beat the streak.
Soler is grounded to third twice.
About to hit a homer, tie it up here.
That's probably how the Royals are going to get it done against Heaney. I mean, that's usually how you beat a good pitcher. And the way he's going right now, the Royals are probably not going to string together 3 or 4 hits.
Doesn't look like it.
Hope you get an error or a walk, and then Heaney leaves one out over the plate and gets some instant offense. He usually does not give up home runs. He has now pitched 59 innings, if you include what he's done tonight, and he's only given up 4 home runs in 59 innings. Two and two on Soler.
3 of those home runs off the sinking fastball and 1 off of the changeup.
I'm assuming those sinking fastballs did not quite sink the way he wanted it to.
Yep, that's usually the case.
Where they say a good sinker gets a ground ball, a bad sinker lands over the wall.
How about that eye right there? Good eye.
Well, there's the free base
Okay.
we were talking about. Soler is on with 2 down.
Not by much, though. That was a good take. And then here comes the homer. Just like Ned's drawn it up right here.
Should point out that the last 3 balls put into play have been hit hard. Merrifield hit one right on the nose and grounded out to Kinsler to end the 6th. Moustakas hit a hard ground ball up the first base line. Marte made a good play in this inning. Salvi lined to center. So maybe Heaney is showing some signs of tiring as he approaches 90 pitches. Or maybe just isn't as sharp as he was in the first 5 innings. We'll see.
Okay, get him. Sinker that doesn't sink. That's the one you're looking for.
One and one. Heaney did not allow a base hit until 1 out in the 5th, and it was Dozier who singled to left. And that is still the Royals' only hit. Again, not getting the call on a pitch. You know, it's just a little bit low. Interesting trends for Heaney. Good first time through. Opponents get to him second time through, but then he is at his best third time through. And for most pitchers, opponent's batting average just gets progressively higher from first to second and second to third. 3 balls and 1 strike with Escobar on deck.
Okay, it's good pitch to look up in the zone here and drive.
Right field, medium deep, and Hermosillo makes the play at the track. So Hunter Dozier almost got him to the opposite field. Instead, Heaney has 7 scoreless innings. One nothing Angels to the bottom of the 7th inning. Trevor Oakes works his 2nd inning and throws a strike to Zach Cozart. Brad Keller gave up 1 run in 4 1/3 innings. That run scored after he was out. Kevin McCarthy pitched a 1/3 of an inning, getting the Royals through the 5th. And then Trevor Oakes pitched a scoreless 6th.
Yep, 2 and 4 seam fastballs what Oakes uses as he broke the bat there. Slider curve change, he's got 4. And with his family in the stands, he's one to deal. Full pass list. Talked to him yesterday about that. He says, man, you remember, it's a lot when you're in your hometown, especially for the first time. They all want to come out.
Cozart is struck out and flied out to center field. He'll be followed by Maldonado and Young. So Oakes is from Riverside. From high school, he went to Biola University here in California, where he was a teammate of Josh Staumont, who was pitching at AAA for the Royals. And then from there, he went to Cal Baptist, where he was drafted by the Dodgers. And figured he'd be wearing blue eventually, but Dodger blue. Moustakas, nice pick, and his throw is in time to get Cozart, who can run.
Woo! What a beauty by Moose. Oh, was that nice. He's able to get that extra step. Watch this now. Okay, he's going to try to stop and set himself. There it was. He shuffled his feet and unloaded a dart across the diamond. Nicely done. What a play. That is right over the top with a lot of petrol on it. There's no rid. He didn't get rid of it. He had some troll on it, some petrol. Nicely done. I like a good play like that. That's a long throw too, by the way. If you drop your arm angle there, that ball's going to sail up the line. He knows exactly how to do it. Stay on top, find the seams if you can, and just let her rip. Let's check it out. You got to have a base. Watch him shuffle his feet quickly right here. Oh, it was moving.
Can he do it again?
Oh.
Now he dives, but the ball pops out of his glove.
And he pounded his glove. He knows he could have done that. He could have gotten up and fired him out. Same thing, top spin. Oh, just the ground caused the fumble.
But in baseball, it's still a fumble.
Yep.
And now Chris Young, who has scored the only run tonight. The Angels had runners at first and third and 2 outs in the 5th inning. And Michael Hermosillo, the runner at first, took off. Salvador Perez tried to gun him down from his knees. And then Chris Young came running down from third, and that is our only run tonight.
Hermosillo did a nice job. He ran hard, and it gave the appearance he was going to have a complete steal, you know, and go all the way. But the last minute, when the ball was on the way, he stopped and made Whitley. And by the time Whitley caught the ball, Young had already broke to home, and there's no chance. So it was well executed. This is what you do in a close game like this. See your third base runner? He came right away. Then Salvi went to throw, he had it. And then had Salvi held onto the ball and just faked the throw, probably could have got Young at third. But didn't happen that way. And you hate to tip your cap, and you hate to let your opponent know that that was a nice job, but that's what it was.
Oaks strikes out Young. That's his second.
Look at him. That's a tough pitch there. Looks like the bottom fell out of that.
And now here is Hermosillo, who is 1 for 2 with a single. One and two.
I like it. He looks good. Got a smooth delivery, good stuff. Ball's moving down. That breaking ball there, that's a nice little curve.
Oaks, prior to tonight, had a start, and then he had what was basically going to be a start, and that was coming into a game to pitch in long relief, and he knew it was coming. Back to the middle, Witt's there, and Escobar is out. So Oaks had allowed 8 runs in 6 2/3 innings, but tonight he has 2 scoreless innings. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 9 days away on Fox and FS1. 1-0 Angels, and Andrew Heaney has only given up 1 hit and 3 base runners in his first 7 innings.
Yeah, you know what? He's been sneaky quick. That's what a hitter will tell you. That fastball snuck up on me. But I think most of them, after facing Heaney tonight, will tell you, I can't pick up his rotation. He's very sneaky. I can't pick it up. He hides the ball well. I don't see the ball well. All those things will apply tonight.
Now the flip side of that, even with just 1 hit in 7 innings, Royals are down by 1.
They're still in it, no doubt. And I thought Dozier had a chance to leave the yard in right field or any place against him. And that at bat, he had a pretty good chance there. Just a little short.
Very few balls were squared up in the first 5 innings against Heaney, but now the last 4 Royals who have come to the plate have hit the ball hard against Heaney. 1-1 against Escobar. That is right-hander Justin Anderson loosening up in the left field bullpen. Escobar is 0 for 3.
Fans purchase 20 or more tickets for a single game and receive a 20% discount. Group tickets are available for all home games, and groups of 20 or more can save big. Suites and party areas are also available on a nightly basis. So plan your company event or get together with friends or coworkers today. Email group sales at royals.com to start planning your next big event.
Sliders in for a strike to Alex Gordon. He is 0 for 2 tonight against Heaney. No balls, 2 strikes. Heaney is at 97 pitches. He has not gone over 100 pitches this year in his first 9 starts. One ball, 2 strikes. In fact, he's never gone over 100 pitches in his career. He's reached that mark a few times. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. If Alex gets on, I'd say the chances are pretty good that Drew Butera is going to see the righty Anderson. Not because Heaney can't get Drew out, and not necessarily because of pitch count, but managers are always say, I'm not going to let my guy have a chance to lose the game. But with that strikeout, Heaney will probably get a chance to face Drew Butera. And I've always wondered too, does that mean as much to a pitcher as it does to the manager? Because the manager's always going to say, look, I know he was doing well, but as well as he was pitching, there's no way I'm going to let him lose the game. And I wonder if that's just, if the pitcher feels the same way, because, you know, a lot of pitchers have the mentality, look, I want to finish what I started.
Yeah, I'm going to say the pitcher, it's very important for the pitcher, but the manager's responsible. So he's the one who's got to answer. If something happens, something goes wrong, or he can't make his next start, or the front office already has a plan before they come in, you know. But it could be different with each guy's. But you know, this is the first time Drew's had the designated hitter role, and he's going to find out the same thing Dozier did the first time he hit. It's been 36 minutes in between at bats for Drew. We timed Dozier 41 minutes in between at bats, and it's extremely difficult when you've never done that before, to sit and wait. You like to play both sides of the ball, And neither hitter is particularly thrilled about being the designated hitter, but compared to sitting on the bench, I think they'll take the DH role. But it's a tough role to have. Typically, the designated hitter role in the American League is for a 10-year veteran or a 15-year veteran, a guy who's been around, because it's really hard to produce.
He has a career high in pitches, and he's tied a career high with 8 innings tonight. Still 1-0 Angels. She told us that a group of family and friends would be creating a Tim Hill fan club section here tonight. And there they are out in section 260. That's in the left field corner just above the bullpens. And so we will call them our Pepsi fans of the game.
Fantastic.
Trevor Oakes has pitched 2 scoreless innings. He'll get Kinsler, Marte, and Trout in the bottom of the 8th. Grounded right to Escobar, who throws it in the dirt. A little tester for Dozier, but he pulls it out, and there's one away. Winter is coming to Kauffman Stadium on June 19th as the Royals feature Game of Thrones night. Purchase a theme ticket to receive a special House Yost bobblehead featuring Ned on the Iron Throne. You can tell Ned is just thrilled about that. Purchase your theme ticket at royals.com/theme ticket. He is chewing gum with confidence.
Yeah, I would say.
Moustakas turns all the way around and throws out Marte. During commercial break and in between innings, they clarified the 1 run that is scored tonight. First scored a double steal with Chris Young dashing down from third base, but because there was an out recorded on the play, and also because Young didn't immediately come down from third, he reacted to the play. He now scores not on a double steal, but on a fielder's choice. Just in case you're scoring at home.
No, we are. There are. A lot of people are. Thank you.
Mike Trout is 1 for 3 with an infield single. Got a bad swing against that pitch from Trevor Oakes. No balls, 2 strikes. Remember, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Just download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Oaks strikes out Mike Trout. That's 3 scoreless innings for Trevor Oaks.
I can hear Oaks' fan section right down there.
Last call. The Royals have the top of the order coming up in the 9th inning.
Gets some runs on the board. Joel Goldberg getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live. We will break this one down for you. Keller's second big league start, and he was impressive while out there, so we'll talk about that. And Andrew Heaney looking for the shutout. We'll hear from Ned Yost, analysis, and 2 things that will be great to see on Boulevard Royals Live. 1, a Royals comeback. 2, HUD running into a pole.
That'd be a good thing, huh?
Walking into it, running would be disastrous.
John Jay may have cracked his bat. He did, so the bat boy will run a new stick out to him. John was hit by a pitch to begin the game, and then Heaney went on to retire 13 in a row after that. Then he set down 7 in a row. And now he's retired the last 4. He has thrown a career high 106 pitches. And if he gets an out here in the 9th inning, that'll be a career high 8 1/3 innings. John hooks it out to Kinsler. 1 away. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, along with Joel Goldberg. Director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cedergren, associate producers Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and Casey Carter. Witt has popped to third. He is fouled to the catcher, and he is grounded hard to Kinsler at second base. One ball, 1 strike. No matter what happens tonight to Heaney, been a nice run for the Angels and their rotation. Now the Royals did get 5 runs against starter Nick Tropiano last night, but since the beginning of May, the Angels starting rotation has the lowest ERA in the American League.
Getting it done.
In the air to right field, and that's hit right at Hermosillo. So it's been a great run for the rotation, and now the Angels are 1 out away from their best start during that run, as Heaney is 1 out away from a 1-hit shutout. Last time the Angels had a shutout was July of last year, thrown by Ricky Nolasco. Ricky Nolasco was in spring training with the Royals this year.
That's what I thought.
I think Mike Moustakas realizes that he might have to go for a little extra right here. Hit one into the right field bleachers and tie this game.
That's right.
Still 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Fisted out to third. Backhanded Valbuena, and that's in time. And Andrew Heaney pitches a 1-hit shutout.
I didn't think he could do it. Gotta tip your cap. That's impressive.